And here we go. Welcome to July's class. And then, of course, Mark and Sherry fade out right there. Oh, well.
Okay, really quick, Sherry, your hair looks amazing.
Thank you. That's what I get for going to the hair salon on the day of the class.
I know. It looks phenomenal.
Thank you.
This is mine.
They had, I love it. They had threatened to not do any kind of drying. And so I was like, well, whatever. I'll just throw it in a ponytail. But they ended up drying it for me. So I'm happy.
Oh, threatened the non-drying.
Yeah, I had the mask on. So, you know, you comb through and then the mask would come off. And it's a cumbersome process these days.
Gotcha.
You probably
okay, well, I just wanted you to know you look beautiful.
Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead. Do we have anything anybody wants to say before we just launch into the program?
I just want to say thank you for my little surprise that I got this month.
You're welcome. You're
welcome.
Yes, thank you. Ditto. Ditto from Sherry.
Awesome.
For me.
I so appreciate you guys being on here. I know how hard it is to do this, and I'm just thrilled because my big hope was that we wouldn't all lose touch with each other over the summer, and you guys have been fantastic, so appreciate you. Okay, so sharing screen.
Yeah, I don't have COVID. Stop it.
Okay, everybody see that? Okay.
Yep.
So I have been researching bugs, and I tried to keep it simple because, as you know, there are many, many millions of bugs out there. But the two big ones that we are most concerned with in our lives these days are going to be mosquitoes and ticks.
There we go.
And so I'm going to dig in a little bit deeper than we normally go about the mosquitoes and ticks, and then we'll talk about what oils are the best things to use for those. So with mosquitoes, the top concern that we have is West Nile virus. It's in fact the #1 concern with mosquitoes in Colorado and the US. Behind that is the Zika virus, malaria not so much anymore, and the dengue and yellow fevers not so much anymore. And the reason for those is because we have the vaccines. There are, and Sherry and Mark may know more about this than I do, but there are things that happen with animals, in particular some horses, like this encephalitis.
What does it do to horses? West Nile.
We've never had personal experience with that, but a friend of mine actually got it and almost died from it. So the human end of it's pretty bad.
Wow. Yeah, and so one of the reasons that these terrible things happen is because these little guys have been morphing themselves into really, really efficient bloodsuckers for millions of years. I mean, they were here when the dinosaurs were here, and they've been very good at getting themselves to where they work really well. Okay, this is the gross part, so you might just, want to turn on your mute. I hear some noises, so if you don't have your thing on mute, you might want to do that for the moment. So mosquitoes have several sensors, and this is how they find us. They have chemical sensors, visual sensors, and heat sensors. And I got to talk about the anatomy of them for a while because this is crazy. So what they do is they notice you because you're moving. And if you're wearing like a light color in front of a dark background, they can even see you better. So they will see that something's moving first, and then they realize that if it's moving, it's probably alive. So they go toward movement. And then once they start getting toward you, then they can see you better. And then once they get up close, and this isn't even really close, they can smell you up to 100 feet away. They can smell lactic acid from your working out. They can smell your carbon dioxide from your breathing. They can smell ammonia in your sweat. It's just crazy. So then once they get to you, they use like 6 little pieces or tools that they have to get in your skin. They start by using these little things, they're needles that like saw through your skin and make an opening. And then they will insert this tube that goes into the skin, and that allows them to suck the blood out. And in exchange, while they're doing that, so they're sort of like breathing. So they're taking the blood out, and then they're actually putting back in their own saliva. And that saliva is what makes the welt that we get, and it causes the itchiness, and that's what carries the germs that make us sick. So I had no idea that all this stuff was going on. The adaptations that they've created over millions of years are what makes them so efficient. So you know how fast you can get bitten by a mosquito. Well, I mean, they hone in, they get on you, they get what they need really, really fast, and by doing all that stuff. So anyway, so we don't want them in our lives. We want them away. The oils, what the oils do is they confuse the bug's chemical sensors. So the really strong oils that have the scents that they don't like peppermint and lemongrass and lemon eucalyptus in particular, those are the ones that they really like the least. I've had differing reports about citronella. Sometimes they really don't like citronella, and other times they don't seem to be bothered by it. So that is mosquitoes. TerraShield is going to be one of the easiest things to use because it's pre-mixed Phytoterra and ready to go. And you can get it in 2 different forms. It comes in the bottle. I was looking to see if it lists on here. It doesn't list, I haven't listed what the oils are that's in that one. But it comes in a bottle, a 15 milliliter bottle, or a 30 milliliter spray, which is mixed with some coconut oil, and it's really easy to use. You don't even have to coat your entire body, but if you put it on key areas like, you know, say on your hair, and then any exposed, you know, arms and legs. And personally, I like to put it around my neck too, because I know that gets kind of a little sweatier. And then if you don't want to buy the ready-made version, or you want to make it yourself, then you can make a bug-off blend using lavender, TerraShield, peppermint, and lemongrass, for example. And there are all kinds of recipes out there. You can just Google those as well. One other thing I wanted to talk about is that the mosquitoes are attracted to heat, and they can sense your heat. So one of the really good oils to use is peppermint, because it keeps you cooler. So, you know, wear clothes that blend into your background. If you're going to be out moving around and sweating, you know, it's just a signal. It just says, mosquitoes, come to me. But using all these oils will help them not find you as fast. Another one they really don't like is the lemongrass. And this one, it has lots of different uses. You can, if you take these internally, they're going to help as well, because they're going to come through your pores. The lemon eucalyptus, which we now have available. Look at this. Studies show that lemon eucalyptus is 97% effective repelling mosquitoes for up to 4 hours. I think the TerraShield works for up to 6 hours. And the CDC confirms that lemon eucalyptus is more effective than DEET. I don't know why the CDC would have said that, but that would be a great study to find. Incredible cleansing agents, both for airborne pathogens and surfaces. So that's another one that's going to be good to have around on top of just bug concerns, but even for some of the, you know, viral concerns we have going on as well. Oh, that's cool too. It can actively disrupt and destroy the biofilm surrounding Candida albicans, those yeast infections. Okay, so now you'll notice there's a tick repellent recipe, and then we're going to move into talking about ticks as well. But the eucalyptus and lemongrass is just an awesome repellent to have for using with ticks. So now let's move into the ticks. The main ones that we hear about are the deer tick and the wood tick. And so I definitely want us to talk about those. So let's talk about the deer tick first. This is the one that spreads the Lyme disease that's so detrimental to human health. I mean, you get incredible digestive issues and immune issues, and it's just a terrible disease. The good The good news is this particular tick isn't from Colorado. It can be brought here. Sometimes dogs will bring it in from other states. Sometimes it can travel with people who are traveling from state to state, but it isn't something that is normally found here. So that isn't as big a concern. Some other things that the deer tick bring us are anaplasmosis and babesiosis. And these are similar to the flu, only worse. So it's not like the anaplasmosis doesn't just come and go in a few days. It can get really bad. It can cause some kidney issues. And then the other one is more similar to malaria. Then move over to the far right and we'll talk about the wood tick. And it's also known as American dog tick. And this is the one that is probably the most prevalent, and it carries with it the thing that we would be most concerned about here, which is the Rocky Mountain spotted fever. And it's a really nasty fever. You know, all the symptoms that go along with having a virus, you know, just, you know, feeling bad. So I found myself thinking, you know, we have all this coronavirus stuff to worry about. And now, you know, if we get something like that and we have these symptoms, you know, it really could be because we were out and about trying to social distance and ended up with a tick bite. And then there's another one called the Lone Star tick. And this is mostly found in the Southeast US, but what they're finding is that these ticks are showing up further north and further west. So they are getting to be a little bit more prevalent, at least in this area. And you'll hear about a red meat allergy caused by ticks. And this is the one that looks almost like a black widow spider. It's got that little white marker on it. But just notice what these look like. So if you see a tick, you want to see, does it have the black legs and the brown body? Or does it have this mostly brown with this kind of spots on it? Or does it have this little white mark? I learned way more about ticks than I ever thought I needed to know. So ticks, what happens with them is they literally smell you coming. They have very, very evolved olfactory sensors. And what they do is when they get hungry, they will climb to the top of a grass or top of a tall plant. And they wait. And I like this picture because this is what they do. They get on the top of a plant and they'll hold on with their lower legs, and then they take their front legs and they hold them out and they wave them around while they're literally smelling for people to come. And then when you walk by the plant, so this they will grab on. Some people think that they jump. They do not jump, but they will grab on. This is why it's really, really important when you're out hiking or, you know, walking across a field to be paying attention to the lower part of the body, because they're almost always going to get on you from the leg area. And then from there, then they can climb all over you and, you know, find a good place to grab on. They're smelling for the carbon dioxide that we're breathing and the ammonia that was coming through our sweat. They sense changes in temperature. So again, that peppermint would help us keep a little bit cooler. And that's that. The tick oils that are primarily really, really good would be the eucalyptus, geranium, and lavender. Not all of those. The geranium is not found in the TerraShield, and I know TerraShield is effective against ticks as well. But if you wanted to use some different smelling oils, then you could use those. And then I found this bug off candle that I thought, it's so pretty, and if it works at all, it would be really nice to have maybe on your back patio. So you would just put some water in a jar with some witch hazel or alcohol in the water, and then you can use a citronella candle to float in the top, and you can really decorate it with anything you want. You could use any oils, but the ones that they have pictured here were the rosemary and citrus ones. All right, I'm gonna stop share for a second and see. Oh, wow. There we go. How's everybody doing? Any questions about ticks or mosquitoes or oils to use with them. Come off mute if you have questions.
I had no idea that they didn't jump. I always thought they jumped. So that's amazing information. Because like one of like besides sharks, like ticks is like the scariest thing to me. I've actually never had one. Surprising with all my hiking and all my adventures. So that's really good to know. So I'm super psyched to know that, but I will definitely, and I love peppermint. So that's a really good, like really good information.
Good. Good. I'm glad. Anything else to add?
Was it every 4 hours that you need to apply TerraShield?
TerraShield can go up to 6 hours, at least for
6
mosquitoes.
hours.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
What if you make, I think it was if you apply every 4 hours, if you make some of the other blends.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think the TerraShield smells amazing.
I was thinking, it's not my favorite just because of the citronella smell, but you know, if you can add things to that too. So you could take the TerraShield and just unscrew the top and put in some geranium or some peppermint and
Do we have the
change it
flesh
up.
one? What do they do with it?
Change it up a bit if you need.
Eucalyptus isn't photosensitive, is it? Eucalyptus? Okay. I didn't think so.
No, just the citrus ones.
Cool.
Okay, so go ahead.
I was just going to ask, what's really effective against house flies?
I know that peppermint is. The TerraShield is effective as well.
Is
Those
it
would be the
blue
top.
tansy?
I don't know. Maybe. Yeah.
How do you keep away spiders?
They hate peppermint. They hate it.
Peppermint. Like on it, you can put it on like a cotton ball, right? And put it like in corners or something?
Yeah.
I actually use full walnuts in their shell, and I put peppermint on them, and I put them in every windowsill, and I'm telling you,
Wow.
it's amazing.
Cool.
I like that idea.
Yeah.
Which
I
nut was that?
I have noticed a huge difference this summer because, you know, usually they're trying to either get out of the heat or get in the fall, and it's made a huge difference.
So which nut?
A full walnut, like in its shell.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
Like in every windowsill, like where the window opens, like just put it right there.
Okay.
Like I usually, if I open the window, I put it like right in it.
Do you crack them at all?
Nope.
Nope, just full. Okay.
I mean, and then I just pour there's always a little bit of a crack, and I put the peppermint in it.
Well, I've used the cotton balls. I've also used a spray, just a little spray jar with peppermint water. And especially with ants, both ants and spiders, because you can see where the ants come in usually, and the spiders, I assume they're coming in the same way. So I just spray those areas. But I like the idea of the walnut because I think it would last longer.
It actually does. Like I only like once a month I'll put a couple, drops in just to replenish it. But just I think even in the walnut itself, like I was astounded. So.
Interesting.
That's a good tip. I like that one a lot.
I looked up the natural fly deterrents, if you want to hear that.
Yeah.
It's all the same things that we've been talking about. It says flies hate the smell of essential oils like lemongrass, peppermint, lavender, and eucalyptus. Put a few drops in a spray bottle used around the house daily. They also hate the smell of camphor, which is a traditional moth deterrent, and they hate cloves and cinnamon.
I love that you're not on this planet.
On the what? on this planet. I work for a tech company in security.
She gets the long distance award.
Yeah, this represents cybersecurity. in the
That's
cloud.
amazing. No, good info.
There you go. That's my contribution.
Awesome. Thank you.
I have a story, a quick story. My little sister's dog had some, we found she had fleas on Father's Day. All of a sudden, I don't know, somehow she just was like infested. And I used rosemary, lemongrass, lavender, peppermint, 10 drops each in a spray bottle, and spraying them on her, and they literally were all just jumping off. Like abandoned ship. Yeah, so that worked well, and then we used those in the shampoo to get them off. But so yeah, so I think, I don't know if we talked about rosemary, but I did add that.
Just
You have to be
yeah,
careful
it was
about,
the only time I mentioned it was in that jar. So that's
Oh,
good.
yes, that jar. That
But
looks beautiful.
some of the other ones that I was reading about is cinnamon as a hot oil. I think a lot of bugs don't like it. And then thyme hot oil as well. I think those are harder to put on your skin though.
you have to be
Oh, yeah.
careful about rosemary on dogs though. Especially
Really?
small dog.
Oh,
It's one of the oils that you don't want to use on dogs.
okay.
Okay.
If it's a small dog, I would be a little concerned. If it's a bigger dog and you want to get rid of the fleas, then yeah. But be careful about rosemary on dogs.
Okay.
Interesting.
We wanted to put a couple of drops of an oil on her collar too, to kind of hopefully keep away. So yeah, thank you. We'll no rosemary for that.
Yeah,
That might be good for that.
on the collar is better than on the skin.
Thank you.
Okay. Excellent. Okay, so we have to vote. I got contacted by the Wheat Ridge Rec Center, and they're actually opening, so we can start using them again. They open mid-August, so we would miss our August time, but we could start again in September. So I need to let them know if we want to reserve our room. What do you think? Are we ready to do that? Do we want to drive and meet in a different place now, or do we want to go through the winter doing this and then see what happens next spring?
I would say I would love to get together,
Rise.
but they're going to change their minds 100 times between now and then.
Carol, did you have something too?
I did, just that the cases are starting to rise, so I don't know what's going to happen the next month or so. It's hard to say.
I mean, they
Yeah.
just shut the bars back down, so they're going to play this game as long as we let them.
I like the virtual, and I think everybody can jump on and they don't have to drive. And
What about it? What about if we did like one every 3 months that was in real life, and did the other ones virtual?
That way we could get both in. I like that.
I like that.
It's harder to plan with them, but I think, in the climate the way that it is, I think they'll probably take whatever they can get at this point.
Mhm.
And I
Yeah.
think next year will be different because we will have dealt with it for a while. Maybe there will be a vaccine. Maybe, we'll just have some systems in place where we know what's happening. But okay, so what I think we'll do is for the next couple of months, I think we'll stay on Zoom and allow them to do their going back and forth and see if they're going to land somewhere with it, because we don't really know. I mean, when does flu season start? It's shortly after school starts, right? So
Yeah.
Here it's pretty much all year round, ain't it?
I know for sure the fall and winter months. So okay, so all right, that's great. We'll do that, and I'll just keep everybody posted about the times that we think we can get together. Okay, a couple other things before we run out of time here. I'm going to share the screen again. All right, the product of the month this month is fennel. and that is really, really good for digestive issues. So is ginger. Ginger is 10% off. There's new enrollees for this month get 50, they're basically points, 50 points like we've had in the past when they start with a starter kit of 150 or more. But this time they're advertising it without talking about points. They're just using dollars, since new people sometimes don't know what points are. So if somebody spends $150 worth of oils, they're going to get $50 worth of, 50 points worth of free stuff. So you might be seeing that in some of the communications that are coming out. And then if anyone's interested, the Northern Colorado group that we're a part of, so above me is Regal Smith, and her greater team is going to do online bingo tomorrow. So I have the information right here. You can take a screenshot of it, or I'm going to post this on the Facebook page. And if you want to join it, there's some instructions and the Zoom link to get on. I think I have the Zoom link, maybe not. Yeah. So I don't know if anybody's interested in that, but it might be fun. We're going to do that later on. That'll probably, I don't know whether that would be a live one for us or if it will be recorded, but we'll do that in, I think it's December, November, December, one of those. All right, cool. That is all I have. Anything else before we go? I do want to grab a picture of everyone. So get your smiles on, and I will do a Shift Command 3. Ready, go? There we go. Cool, awesome. Then I will post that on Facebook. Any questions, any comments, any well wishes, anything? All right.
I am so thankful for this information. I learned a lot, so thank you. I hate bugs, and I'm a mosquito, like, I don't know, they love me. So super excited.
I hear that from people. It would be really awesome if there was some combination we could find for people who are more sensitive and who really get those bugs attracted.
It might be those bright colors that you're talking about.
Oh. They
need a more neutral palette.
Mother-in-law believed that if you eat a lot of bananas, it puts something in your skin that they don't like, but I don't know.
I eat bananas.
Oh, well, then maybe it attracts them. Maybe she just told me that to get bitten.
Oh, God. I've heard
so
garlic.
Good to see you all.
Yay.
Good to see you.
All right, awesome. Well,
Happy 4th, everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, happy 4th of July.
Happy 4th.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Chloe.
Hey,